Hello everyone, welcome back to our community. I'm Jen and welcome back to another episode of Wellness Unfiltered, where I show you and try out wellness experiences around New York City. And today we are at the most popular pop-up workout studio I've heard of in a minute. It is literally the name on everybody's lips. So we are at Soto Method in Tribeca. Let's meet Hilary, the founder. Hilary, hi.
Hi.
Let me just tell you, you have the most beautiful, amazing energy I have ever seen.
Oh my God, that is the kindest compliment coming from you. Thank you so much.
Of course, and same with the studio.
Thank
it
you
is
so
bright,
much.
it is airy,
Yeah.
it is tall ceilings, which is very rare in New York City.
Having unobstructed floor space without columns is something that I didn't understand was so special. And then when I walked into this, I felt incredibly lucky that we had found our first home in New York. And I think it's been 5 months, nearly 6 months later, that we're still here. It's incredible.
So you don't have the classic, training background, been grinding, trying to be a trainer and working in all these different studios and then deciding to come up with your method background. Can you walk me through your background
Totally.
a little bit?
So my story into fitness was a little unusual. So I actually started my career in finance. And so where we're sitting at 28 Warren, I started my career at Goldman, which is wild because it's quite literally 5 blocks down that way.
Full circle.
Full circle. And I had a great experience there. I was at Goldman for roughly 7 years. I was in the equity derivatives group. And during that time, my lifestyle, super sedentary. And we're talking getting to the desk at 6 a.m., not leaving until 5:30 p.m. But the thing was, my day didn't end at 5:30. I then was at client dinners. So it was a really fun schedule to have when you're 22, 23, 24, 25, but you also run the risk of getting gout. And so jokingly and not jokingly, I literally got that.
Yeah.
I needed to find a way to fit working out into a busy schedule where I could achieve results, have a workout that was approachable no matter my energy level, and then really maximize my working time by making it as efficient as possible. Soto, the first inkling started to form when I was in college and in high school.
Oh.
Because I was a runner in high school. My coach was wonderful, great cross-training techniques. Fast forward, not at Goldman anymore, in commercial real estate, living in Los Angeles, pandemic has hit. Even more sedentary lifestyles, classes are closed, I'm stuck to my own devices. I went back to what I was doing cross-training wise when I was running, and I really started to realize the power of isometrics and how not only were they a great way of activating muscles, but they served as a remarkable tool to connect muscle groups. And so I started doing this by myself out of my garage in my LA home for 3 months. Friends, colleagues alike were saying, wow, you look gorgeous, in the sense where I was a shell of myself before. So it was the combination of feeling stronger, looking stronger, having agency again, feeling like myself, where that combination of all those different elements really added to a way that I felt and carried myself that I had otherwise somewhat had forgotten in that past year. So through that, started socializing it out of my garage in LA. Anyone that wanted to come to classes could come, wasn't charging anything. Started a very scrappy digital interface, and that was the first iteration of Soto. But what I think is really important, especially for anyone that's entering the fitness world, and I think that a lot of trainers in New York, the reason why they've been so successful is because their reason behind doing it is so aligned with their clients. Mm-hmm. And I think for me, every time I teach a class, I'm always just thinking about my former self in the hours sitting at a desk and what I would want to hear.
When it comes to the method itself, I want to break down exactly
Totally.
what it is.
Yeah, no, and if you come to a class here at Soto, I will walk you through everything before we start in our stretch. But I'm also honest, it's a lot of information that I give you up front. And before diving into what it is, I'm a big proponent that the more information you have, you're able to attack movements and do hard things with an easier framework. And what I mean by that is making the tough choice is easier with information. And so Soto literally stands for 60 on, 10 on, both on. Like most Genesis stories of names, everything kind of starts to shift. But basically, that was my roadmap. So if I was doing a leg series, 60-second isometric hold, I'm in a squat for 60 seconds. Then I have 10 moves for 20 seconds each that follows it. More often than not, it's 5 moves that at the time I was repeating twice. Working block of time of 4 minutes and 20 seconds. That roadmap is consistent. What ends up happening through this philosophy and this method is twofold. One, that 60-second hold not only ignites the working muscle in a really safe way, so you have a full 60 seconds to settle into it. but it also is the connective thread. So as we go from our arm series, so 60-second arm hold, 10 moves, 20 seconds each, you drop the weights, you sink into a squat. Arms to legs, that transition is 2 seconds. But what's even crazier is your lower body's igniting as your upper body recovers. So there's a lot of perspective in those transitions. Additionally, we've all been in spaces where watching the teacher demonstrate for 10 minutes can become slightly infuriating because you carved out time for yourself to move and here you are not moving. What's great in this space is as you're holding that squat, I can actually demonstrate then. So at no point are you idly watching me working out. And when it comes to the mindset of working out, I've always been the client that if you tell me exactly what I'm doing, I'll do it. You surprise me, I won't come back. And it's not because I can't handle the surprise, it's that I have made choices throughout that entire class so that I can sustain my energy till the very end and burn out on my own terms without getting injured. That's what I want for people here. I give you so much information so that all the things that make you you, all those idiosyncrasies can be acknowledged and celebrated so that, again, whatever version of hard or challenging you're looking to accomplish, it's actually gonna happen.
It's interesting because you give so much information, but we're never just standing there staring at you when we're supposed to be working out.
Totally. The information comes through movement, and I think that communicating really clearly and really concisely is something that I try my best to do, because once you understand Soto, like once you come to your first class, I think everything thereafter, you know what to expect. I deeply care about creating a space where you can legitimately see and feel yourself getting stronger, because you can then take that physical experience and apply it to the things that matter most in life, whether that's personal or professional moments where you need to get stronger in both of those capacities. It's just not quite as visible. So I think the correlation between getting stronger in your plank, you see that, you feel that, you witness that, then all of a sudden your mindset going into a meeting or having a conversation with a partner, you're actually gonna be able to hold on to integrity or patience or the brilliance that you know that you have for a little bit longer because you felt it that morning in your workout. We all know what is gonna make us happy. And if we acknowledge the goal that we want to achieve, if we're willing to put the work in, it's going to happen. And I think one of the toughest conversations that comes up, especially in classes and with my digital app users and just friends and family and everyone in general, this idea of weight loss. Like, you know the body weight that makes you happy, whatever that is. And again, there is so many gorgeous weights to be. There's not one. That's the thing. There is not one. But if there is a weight that makes you happy and there's a weight that you're trying to get to, it's okay to want to pursue that. And I want to be a supportive system for you in that journey. And I want to acknowledge your gorgeousness and beauty every single step of the way. But I also want to be a champion of the goal that you set. And I want to hold you accountable. And I think there's a really fine line between celebrating your beauty and holding you accountable. And that's what I really want to deliver in Soto.
You do so beautifully. And it's also very approachable.
Yes.
I think the biggest thing that I've seen, and people who may be clicking on this video trying to see what this is all about, is I feel like people think there's either low impact, easy workouts where you don't sweat.
Oh my God, really good point.
Or really hard HIIT workouts where you sweat. Where I actually, as someone who didn't know much about Soto Method when I came, I was expecting easier, low impact Pilates because of the minimal equipment and whatnot, and the look of it. You know, it's just like yoga mats and lightweight. So you think like low impact, like easy. I came out dripping sweat. It was cardio based, and like you said, rarely taking any breaks, but not in a way that's like, this is ridiculous. Like, it made sense.
Oh, totally. And I think that what's probably the only misconception with Soto has been that the cardio component, you have to jump. I am someone that I'm going through a fertility journey, and there are times in this journey where I cannot jump. Like, I'm not allowed to. And so I can take that cardio section. And I think that the misconception as well is that low impact means low intensity. Or easy. Low impact can be high intensity. Low impact can be absolutely challenging. I want to give you the gamut of options. So, because I know there's certain days where I walk in and I want to go all out on my squat jumps. I want to go all out on my burpees. And I love the feeling. Like, I think that's the other thing. Certain people might not love it. I love the sensation of jumping and sweating and moving. However, there are certain circumstances in your life, or maybe personal preference, that you don't want to do that. Totally okay. Every single move we do in cardio, every single move can be done without jumping. And you can achieve the same results so long as you approach the movements with intention.
Okay, well, this was a perfect context to the philosophy.
Yeah.
I want to move over to the studio and do a little rapid fire of questions that people are
let's do
curious about.
Perfect.
So let's go.
Done.
I have my phone out because I'm going to ask some rapid fire questions that you guys are all curious about whenever you're looking into a new workout class. Describe the music.
High energy, great mix. You're going to want to save the playlist.
Describe the level of intensity of the class.
It can live anywhere between a 4 and a 10.
How beginner friendly is it for someone who's new to fitness?
This is a community, this is not a cult. Any client that's come in has always said this is such a collaborative and accepting and welcoming group of women and men.
I'm going to second that because I feel like if someone could listen and be like, yeah, you're the founder, of course you're going to say that.
Yes.
She attracts people that give off this energy. There's no intimidation. I was honestly shocked.
Oh, I'm so happy.
When I walked in, I was like, wait, everyone's like, I'm not intimidated at all.
No, it's really a lovely group of people. And I think that it's a testament to the community that we've continued to build. I always joke my best marketers are everyone that takes the class. And I'm humbled by the caliber of women that comes here. And again, caliber of men. We haven't seen as many since coming to New York, but I know you're out there.
Something someone might not expect about the class.
Someone might not expect how comfortable you're going to feel making the right choice for yourself. It's not a voyeuristic experience. It's not a class where you're looking around, seeing what the person in front of you and behind you and to your right and to your left are doing. It's really about you. And I think that even when I've taken classes with our trainers, I have been surprised with how much of a personal experience it is, even when you're in a group of 38.
I do think the fact that it's 38 people too kind of lends itself to not feeling like, you know when you're in like a small 6-person class?
Oh yeah.
And you're kind of like comparing yourself to the other 5 people.
Yep.
It's such a huge studio that it doesn't feel like you're packed in like sardines, but there's so many people that you don't feel like anyone's eyes are on you in the slightest.
It's kind of like I totally agree with you on that. It's, it's the numbers add to the energy. It doesn't add to the attention on you.
Totally.
Yes.
Lastly, can you just go over pricing, logistics, if someone wants to go online?
Totally.
All of that.
So you can find SotoMethod 2 ways. One, if you want to join us here at 28 Warren, we have 3 options for your first class. So your first class, $30. Drop-in rate, $40. If you want to buy a package of classes, I think it comes out around like $114. That comes down to $38 a class. That all being said, our pop-up is going to be turning permanent. We're going to be having way more class options in terms of pricing and ways that you can join us in studio. And then digitally. So Soto started as an app, and we can be found in the App Store or at www.sotomethod.com. First week is free. Month to month is $39.99 to $39.99 for the year, which brings the cost down in half to $19.99 per month.
QVC.
Honestly, seriously. My original hero was Ron Popeil, the Ron Popeil knives. Every year for Hanukkah, I'd ask for them. My mom would be like, you're 7. You can't be using knives in the kitchen. But I was just like, that man makes me want to cut something with a knife.
After taking the class myself, interviewing Hilary, and having her walk us through the method itself, my overall takeaway is that the class is an approachable, accessible, and also really challenging workout with low barrier to entry. There's not much equipment needed, the moves aren't too complex, but her method is intentional with minimal breaks and lots of cardio incorporated to the strength and sculpting routine. This is definitely a workout that I would do at home, at the gym, not just one that you have to be in the studio for, but I'm personally going to be frequenting their space in New York City a ton. They are operating out of a pop-up space right now, so they don't have showers or lockers, but they do have cubbies and there are water bottles for sale, and all the equipment is included with class. Comment down below if this looks like a workout you would want to try out, and let me know where you want me to go next.